your parenting in 2025. If you are here, you are a parent, you are a guardian, you are a teacher, you are anyone who loves children, you want to win in parenting in 2025, I assure you that this is the class for you. This is the master class for you. Now, if you take the lessons you are going to be learning today, if you take everything and you put them into practice, you don't even have to take everything. If you take at least 10 to 15% of what you will learn today and you put them into practice, I assure you that at the end of 2025, you are going to be smiling. Your parenting struggles will be greatly minimized. Your questions will be greatly answered. You will parent with confidence. You will parent with calm. You will understand your child for yourself. What we are going to learn today. So the first thing I want you to do now is to get your right. If you don't have your writing materials, hey, stand up right now and go grab your writing materials, because it's going to be practical. You are going to write. I'm going to give you a plan that you are going to follow. Now, another thing you want to do is to invite people. Just copy the link and share. You know how you share your favorite activity, anything that is your favorite to share. That is what I also want you to do. Just click on the link I've shared with you, share, invite people. It takes a village to raise a child, right? That simply means that you are knowledgeable. People around you, they have the same knowledge, they share the same knowledge. So it becomes easy for us to raise children of values, because the entire community is teaching the same thing. Again, it is how to win in your parenting in 2025. My name is Enimio Rebel, and this is brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. We'll talk about that much later. Now, I want to start by apologizing to you for this class was supposed to hold between Christmas and New Year. But yeah, we had a lot of issues that we couldn't really hold it. So I want to go right into it, and I want it to be as I don't want to bore you with a lot of details. I don't want to talk too much. So I want to dive right into it. Winning in 2025. What does it even mean to win? What it means to win is for you to be successful, for you to have a plan, for you to have a goal, for you to know exactly what you want, and at the end of the day, you are successful. Yes, when you have goals, you are going to have obstacles. When you have goals, you are going to have a whole lot of things that want to hinder you from achieving that goals. Now, your winning is, despite all of that, despite the happenings, you are still smiling. It doesn't mean you are going to be a perfect parent. No, perfection is an illusion. You are not going to be a perfect parent, but at least you are going to realize your parenting goals at the end of the year. So now this is why the very first thing you want to do today is to craft your parenting goals. For you to win, you want to know exactly what you are doing. You want to know exactly what you are doing, where you are going, what you want to win at. So let me ask you, right? Take your barrel, take your paper, and craft your parenting goals. So let me ask you, for the new year, have you crafted your parenting goals? Do you have parenting goals? Now, if you don't have parenting goals, I want to know why. Drop in the comment section why you do not have parenting goals. Is it that you think they are not necessary? Is it that you don't know how to set them? Is it that you don't have time? Is it that you don't remember? Drop in the comment section why you do not have parenting goals. And if you have parenting goals, of course, drop in the comment section that you have parenting goals, and I will appreciate that. They will talk about that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions. Now, let me start by explaining to you how to set parenting goals, because one of the questions I've had to answer over the years of coaching parents is, how do I set parenting goals? What do I set as my parenting goals? So I'll begin by that. Now, the first thing you want to do is for you to craft your parenting goals for 2025, right? That is the first thing. So now, under crafting your parenting goals for 2025, you want to sit down and ask yourself, how do I craft my parenting goals? And that is what I want to explain to you right now, how you can craft your parenting goals for 2025. Excuse me, I'm trying to just give me a minute. Let me do it something. Let me just adjust my tripod. I feel okay. I hope you okay. I think this is better. Okay, I think I'm more, I feel this is better. Yes. Okay, let's look at how do I craft my parenting goal for 2025. Please leave your comments. Leave a comment for me. Let me see that you are following me. Let me see that you have questions. Feel free to ask your questions. Anything, feel free to um ask your questions and respond to me. Firstly, to craft your parenting goals, you don't wake up and craft random parenting goals. No. You don't go online and copy another person's parenting goals. No. Your journeys are unique. Your children are unique. I know by now, if you're at the Visionary Parents Academy, or if you followed me long enough, you will know I talk about vision. Your vision determines your goals you are going to set. As a parent, you have a vision. As a family, you should have a vision. You should sit down and ask yourself, okay, what do I want to see? What child do I want to get when my child is an adult? For example, I always say to parents, what is the next phase your child is getting into? What is that next phase? That next phase, what do you want to see in that next phase? Take, for example, your child is starting primary school. You say, okay, my child is is 5 now. My child is going to primary school. That is the next major phase. So how do I want my child to act? What are the things that are likely going to happen when my child is in primary school? They are going to face peer pressure. They are going to face what is it called? They are going to face a bit of academic pressure. They are going to have to interact with other people, school teachers. They are going to be in a more populated environment. This time around, their classmates, their teachers, their assembly ground, a whole lot of things. How do I want my child to navigate this time? You know, that is it. How you want your child to navigate? Please plug that lamp for me. Thank you. How you want your child to navigate, the picture of your child you want to see in that time. That is your vision for that particular age. Okay, I want my child in a situation where my child is in primary 1 and a friend is telling my child XYZ. My child is looking up and say, no, I am not doing it. That is your vision. So if you have that vision, depending on the age your child is, you should be able to now set goals that will help you achieve that vision. That is the very first thing you want to do. So as a parent, I want to ask you, what phase, for you to start your parenting goals this 2025, you want to ask yourself, what phase is your child experiencing now? What phase is your child? Do you have a child, a toddler? Do you have a preteen? Do you have a teenager? Do you have what is it called? A young adult? What phase is your child experiencing? That is the first thing you want to do. Like I said, feel free to leave any question in the comment section. I'm going to take it. That will determine your goal you want to set. Your child, and another major thing you need to consider in setting your goals is your child, the child you have. My child and your child may be in the same phase, but they don't experience the same things. They don't respond to things the same way. So you want to understand that. For example, you want to say, okay, my child is in a particular phase and I want my child to be more outspoken. I want my child to be more confident. I want my child to be more outspoken, to be more sociable, kind of. So you want to understand, who is my child? Is my child someone that is really very shy? Is my child someone that is not, that doesn't readily warm up? You need to understand the exact child you have to set your goals, because in goal setting, it has to be realistic. The R is smart simply means it has to be realistic. So you cannot say you have a super shy child and you want that child to be so for the child to be so warm and easily adaptable rather, or easily sociable by the end of the year. Depending on the age. You can't say you have a child who is super bubbling, who is highly impulsive, and you say by the end of the year, I want to celebrate my child be super intentional, my child being able to be super self-disciplined. No, you need to understand the child you are, the child you have. Sorry, every child is not the same. Understand that. That is the first thing you want to do while setting your goals. Now, another thing you want to do when setting your goals is that your goals have to be realistic. realistic. Your goals have to meet your need as a parent. Your goals have to meet your needs as a parent. So here's what I want you to do. Take your pen and take your paper and write it down. I know you've written that you need to set your goals. Your goals have to be, what's the first thing I said again? Remind me, please drop it in the comment section. The first thing I said about your goals, please drop it in the comment section. I'll appreciate that. And the next thing you want to do to set your goals, you want to have your children. If your children are already preteens or teens, now it's time for you to call them for a family meeting and ask them, okay, dear son, dear daughter, what are the things you would like mommy to do better? What are the things you would like daddy to do better? What are the things you don't really find comfortable that mommy does? What are the things that you don't find comfortable that daddy does? You know, how would you want daddy to relate with you better? How would you want mommy to relate with you better? Now, these are some of the things you are going to ask your children. You are going to ask them this question. Maybe I should craft a question like this for the Visionary Parent Academy. Hopefully I will. So you are going to ask them these questions. Now, whatever feedback they give you, remember, you are not parenting yourself. It is not you. It is your child. You are able to, there's something called love need. You must be able to meet your child's love need, speak your child's love language. You may be doing your best. Your best may not be good enough. I've heard parents say, what do you want from me? Do you want my skin? Do you want my head? I have done everything. You are still XYZ. What is everything you are doing is not meeting your child's needs. Now, this is why you need to ask your child these questions. If your child is a preteen, your child is a teenager, you need to understand these questions. Because you need to meet your child's needs. And you may not know whether you are meeting your child's needs or not if you are not asking. So it is super important to set your goals for 2025. You need to be able to have this conversation with your child and meet so that you can meet them. I've shared this story before on my Facebook Live some time ago. I remember back then in the university, I had someone very close to me, a family member. She was dating a particular guy, and everybody thought, oh, he was the best thing after a cold bottle of drink in a hot weather, you know. Those kind of guys, everybody felt, oh, she was lucky, he was the best guy ever. And one day, we're talking, and she said, she was going to break up with the guy. Are you kidding me? Break up with who? Really? And then the next thing she said was, I am not feeling him. I am not connecting with him. We just don't have this connection. I know he seemed a good guy. I know he seemed just a total package, but I'm not feeling. That is it. So you may be doing everything you are doing. Your child is not feeling you because everybody has a way they want you to connect with them. So it is why you need to understand your child, because unfortunately you may not understand that if you don't ask your child. Unfortunately, that may not come naturally for you. No, there are very many things that come naturally. For example, if you are a parent who is very playful, very, very super playful, and your child absolutely loves play, yes, and you are playing with your child, it may be easy, and your child says, okay, your child is feeling you. But if you are a parent, you are super playful, and you have a child who needs a balance, you know, so you need to understand how to connect with your child. So you can do this by asking, and when they answer you, what are you going to do? It is going to be a goal. It may not come naturally to you, but it's hard work. It is where we say parenting is hard work. That is where we say parenting is hard work. So that's the first thing you want to do. Call your children, ask them, especially if they are preteens or teenagers, ask them, what am I not doing right as a parent? What would you want me to improve on? How would you want me to treat you? XYZ, those kind of questions, and they answer you, and you note it down. It becomes one of your goals for the year. Now, another way to set your goal is to look at your challenges for 2024. Your challenges for the previous year. What were your challenges? What were the things you struggled with? What were the things you were always nagging? You were always yelling about? What were the things you said to yourself, oh my God, I just did this again. I promise never to do this again. I am not going to do this again. What were the things? For me, for example, one of the things I struggled with last year was threats. I said goals several times not to threaten my children, because I realized that, threat. Noel, excuse me. I realize that when you threaten your child, right, you are not disciplining your child. Excuse me, where's the cough syrup? Where's the cough syrup? So give grandma, let her take 10 meals, then give her that other tablet you took, 2 tablets. You took 1. Grandma, that white tablet. Bring it. So excuse me. So like I was saying, sorry please. Let her take 2 from here. Let her take 10 mils of that cough syrup. I'll buy another bottle tomorrow. You know 10 mils, right? But yeah, measure it for her. Okay, sorry please. What was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. If you remember, please drop it in the comment section what I was saying, and I'll gladly continue with that. So I was saying that yes, you need to, what were the things? Okay, I said one of the things I struggle with last year was threatening my children. Oh, if you do this, you will do this. If you don't do this, I will do this, and all of that. And I say that threat is not a discipline, because one of the things you can do for your children is to constantly sell to them the benefits of what you want them to do. One of the ways you can influence your children is to constantly sell to them the benefits of what you want them to do. How does it benefit them? For example, you tell your child, oh, if you don't go to bed at this time of the day, I'm going to switch off the light, or I'm going to send you away from my room, or XYZ, you know. They will react based on the threat you are threatening them. But when you sell the benefit to them instead of threatening, they will understand exactly what they should be doing and why they should be doing it. And next time, when the threat is not there, they are going to naturally just do it. But when you threaten them, they are going to do it because of the threats you are threatening them, right? When you are not there to threaten them, what happens? Oh, mommy is not here, dad is not here, so I can have my way. So that was one of the things I struggled with last year, and I told myself this year one of my goals is not to threaten my children, rather to constantly sell the benefits of whatever I want them to do, however I want them to behave, sell the benefits to them. So as a parent, you also want to sit down and ask yourself, what were the things I struggled with yesterday? Did I struggle with connection? Was I patient enough? You know, was I patient? Was I always snappy? Was I always yelling? Was I always smacking? Was I easily triggered by something? Was I not consistent in my parenting? Was I not consistent in my parenting? Was what were the things you basically struggled with yesterday? Was I very impulsive? You know, my child does something, before you know it, I'm already all over the place, yelling, being so dramatic about it. Was that the reason? What was the particular thing you struggled with last year? You want to write it down, and they will become your goal for this year. Whatever your struggle was, like I just shared with, my major struggle was threat. If you are following me, please write something down for me. Give me an emoji. Let me know you are following me. Give me your favorite emoji. Let me know you are following me. Let me know you are learning from this class. So it is important to me, really. So yes, like I was saying, so you want to sit down and note all those things you struggled with last year. The first one I said, you should meet your children. If your children are preteens and teens, you should ask them, okay, what would you want mommy to do better? Because if your kids are toddlers or young children, ask them what you want mommy to do better. They will tell you, I want mommy to buy ice cream for me every day. I don't want to eat breakfast. I want mommy to give me ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's why you are not asking those children. But when your kids are preteens, you just ask them, okay, what did mommy do last year that you didn't particularly like? What did daddy do last year that you didn't particularly like? What area would you want me to improve on or do better? Of course, if you are having a complete family meeting, you are also going to tell your children what they did that you want them to improve on. That is one thing. You're going to tell them when we do our emotions mastering class, we talk about all of this, what they did that you want them to improve on. And then you have your contract, you have your rules, and you have your regulations, you have your consequences and all of that. But today is all about you as the parent wanting to win in parenting 2025. So the first thing I said was, you are going to ask your children what you did so that you can improve it. And the next thing I said was, I wrote this thing that I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it here. I don't understand. The next thing you are going to do is, you are going to note your struggles. Another thing you want to do is, you if you traveled for the holiday like I did, you would have noticed some things about your children, right? So you want to also note them down, because there is something that happens in parenting. For example, your children are just with you at home, and it's easy for them to follow your rules. Like I've said several times, there's something, there are different stages of in moral development in children, and there is something called the obedience stage in children. That obedience stage is a stage where I will not have my lunch, or I'll make mommy unhappy, just basically things like that, not really because they understand it. So if they now go to, or because that's what we do in my house, basically, if they now go to another environment where they do a different thing, it is easy for them to just flow. It is easy for them to just flow and flow with that environment. So if your children are still in this phase, you went out, you traveled during the holiday, you would have noticed some things they did that really do not align with your values, or some things they did that you are not pleased with, that you actually want to talk about it. They will be your goal. That will also make your goal. Let me give you a practical example. We traveled for the holiday, and my daughter, one of the things I'm teaching her, because she's a combination of sanguine and male. Right now, her sanguine is louder, is bigger. But I know that by the time she grows older, she's likely going to be more of a melancholic than sanguine. You know, the energy of a child, the curiosity of a child kind of makes that sanguine part of her very expressive. That is it. So one of the things, and if you are familiar with temperament, and if you don't know about temperament, you need to get my book, Understanding Your Child. It's an amazing book that will teach you about your child, help you understand the child you have, understanding your child. So if you're familiar about temperament, you will understand how sanguine can be very impulsive. You know, they always say that when it comes to self-discipline, they score low on self-discipline, and that is their nature. You know, so we traveled, and one of the things I'm always big on, I'm always teaching her is self-discipline. You must always pause at every given time, weigh what you are saying before you go. You know, you don't just go and say something. I always tell my children that you give value. So if you are saying something, you have to weigh it. Does it carry value? Are you going to give value right now? If you're not going to give value right now, then there may be no need for you to say it. If something is happening, you want to help out with something, are you giving value right now? If you're not giving value right now, you may not have to. So I noticed that when we traveled, all the time, people are talking. She was just everywhere. All the time, someone is talking. She's there looking for what to say, how to contribute. And even when she's not invited, you know, and we are in my house, we have a rule that says, you don't interrupt. Is one of the ways I'm teaching them self-discipline. But even though she wasn't readily interrupting, she would always say, can I say something? Do I have the permission to say something? That was it. In fact, her favorite lines when we traveled was, can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something? Even when you are not supposed to say something. Please turn off the light on the staircase. Even when she was not supposed to say something, the favorite line was, the light on the staircase, please. Even when she was not supposed to say something, the favorite line was, can I say something? So what did that tell me? It told me that I need to up my game on self-discipline. If you have followed me long enough, you know that I am super big on self-discipline. So you also want to observe your child. And if you have not been doing this, let me teach you one thing to do. Write it down. One of the things you should be doing. Every now and then, just leave your children alone. Leave them. Whether you're at home or anywhere, just leave them alone. Let them play. You can invite friends over. Let them do anything they like. You are watching. You hear how they interact. You hear how they do things. That will help you understand what they are learning. Whether they are learning from you, they are learning from around, what they are learning, and how. Excuse me. Need to turn off this alarm.
Sorry.
Don't worry, excuse me. I'll turn it off myself. Sorry. These are back to school structure, you know. So I'm just trying to, I totally forgot that the alarm will always interrupt. Okay, I hope before the next class, by the time we are done, the alarm will not come up again. Okay, no, I'll just do this now so I I can focus so that the alarm doesn't come again. Okay, fantastic. The alarm will not come again. Okay, so that is it. So that, what does that tell me? It tells me that I will have to up my game on self-discipline, but because you know that self-discipline is super important. That's another thing you want to do. Another thing you want to do is to talk to your spouse. Yes, ask your spouse about your parenting generally. Ask people around you about your parenting generally, not your children right now, people around you, ask them about your parenting. What do you think? I'm an intentional parent, really. I'm an intentional parent. I want to raise my child XYZ. Do you think I have actually been following that's what I want to do? I've been living up to my intention in raising my child. I've been living up to my intentionality. Do you think so? You ask them, and they will tell you whatever feedback they give you, it is a goal you want to set. I've shared a couple of ways you can set your goals, a couple of ways the goals you want to set. So that's one thing. Another thing, you want to look at your child's struggles. What are your child's struggles? What are they struggling with? Academic struggles, relationship struggles, whatever they are struggling with is another thing you want to put down, because at the end of the day they are struggling because they do not have the skills, right? So you want to actually put their struggles down so that you can empower them with the skills. You can learn for yourself how to empower them with the skills. For example, are they struggling academically? If they are struggling academically, then you want to note it down. Yes. Another thing is, are they struggling in relationship? They can't build relationship, or they can't hold relationship for long. Then you actually want to put it down. I traveled during the Christmas, and my nieces and nephews, my nieces were telling me, I wanted to pray in the morning, and they said, no, I don't like to pray. I say, why? Praying is boring, according to them. That should be something that you want to put down. How do I make prayer fun for my child this year? That is it. Okay, I have my child. My child has low self-confidence. They can't stand up, they can't speak up. How do I make them be better this year? Another thing you want to do, what is it? My child doesn't have resilience. They easily give up. They easily give up on the things they are supposed to be doing. How do I want my child to be more resilient this year? What do I do? Another thing you want to do, okay, my child is very impulsive, highly impulsive. They cannot control the impulse to do things that are not right. So I know that is a minus. So how do I help my child to be more self-disciplined this year? You want to note your child's struggles. Even apart from that, you want to also have your vision. Like, if you're a parent, you desire, or you have seen that, because having a vision, you must understand your child, right? You must understand your child's strengths, weaknesses, their innate traits, and all of that, to be able to say, okay, this is the vision I have. Because at the end of the day, you want to have a vision that is realistic. So, for example, if you're a family that say, okay, you have a child who can be an entrepreneur, you've told yourself, okay, this particular year, before my child is XYZ, I want them to have learned one or two things. Let me give you a straight up example. If you have a child, for example, who struggles academically, you know that the child is actually doing their best. They are putting their best effort, yet that child is struggling. One of the things you want to do is not to keep forcing the child. It's not to keep breathing down on the child. It's to help the child find a plan A plan B, a plan C, a plan infinity. Now, by this I mean, one of the things you actually want to do is, you now want to say, okay, my child is struggling academically. I always tell parents, what is the essence of academic, going to school and all of that? They are for economic skills, economic empowerment. That is it. The very first thing you want to do, okay, go to the university, get a degree, and get a job and a living. So the person that goes to university wants to earn a living with their degree. The person that learns a trade wants to and a living with their what they've learned, the skills, the business skills. The person that learned a skill, just an ordinary skill, any skill, fashion designing, coding, anything aside the 4 walls of education, or the 4 walls of school also wants to earn a living by that. So what do you want to do? You say, okay, my child is struggling academically. I want to focus on the other strengths my child has, so that at the end of the day, that strength will be a plan A, plan B, plan C. Why they are academic. If my child picks up in future, fantastic. He has the skill he has learned as plan B. He has academic, he has his degree as plan A. So you want to, that's why I say your vision. So you need to understand your child. So if you have a child who is struggling academically, you don't have a vision of, oh, I want to have a neurosurgeon. I want to see my child wear a graduation gown, and you now do your vision board. You're now posting your child image and all of that. It may not be very realistic because, like I always say to children and parents, your child is a total package. Whoever your child is. You know, when the Bible says, okay, I'm a Christian at this point, I want to just quickly say something from the Bible. You know, when the Bible says everything worketh together for your good. So that is it. Your child, everything about your child is a total package. Everything is working together for your child's good. Whether your child is academically smart, your child is technically smart, your child is hands-on, your child, everything is for your child's own good. One of the things we actually try to do that will get it wrong is we now remove the children's authenticity, because we are always forcing them to do things that are not meant for them to do, you know. So that force removes their skillfulness, minimizes their skillfulness, minimizes their talent, minimizes their authenticity. At the end of the day, they struggle a great deal. Now, instead of them to function optimally when in their own space, in their own design that is designed to come together for their own good, we just push them away from it, you know. So that is not what you want to do. What you want to do is to make sure you understand as the child you have. When you understand the child you have, you are creating your vision. You are like, okay, let me give you a practical example. I have a child who has always desired to be a particular career path. I don't have issues. It's an added advantage. And this child of mine is actually smart, book smart. And over the years, we've heard, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that. I don't have issues. Another thing I've learned about this child of mine is that this child of mine is very hands-on. This child of mine is very quickly inspired. This child of mine is very creative. This child of mine is a starter. If you know the average person who is a starter, you know, when you say someone is a starter, you know that the person who is a starter, they can make good entrepreneurs. So, and they can make good craft people. You know, they're easily inspired and all of that. All they need to do is to learn how to finish. All they need to do is to learn to have a team that they can work together. Collaboration is one of the skills you need to teach your child who is a starter and struggles to finish. So this a child of mine is a super starter, is super creative, is easily inspired. The kind of child that you just, something is happening and the next, oh, this is it, this. That means this child is kind of very creative. Someone who can easily like find variations to things, you know, kind of things like that. And this side of mine is always saying, oh, I want to be extra. I don't have issues. And I just said to myself, this busy bee child of mine, this restless soul child of mine, is okay to dream to be anything you want to be. I support you, I'll motivate you, I'll push you, I'll create the structure, the atmosphere, everything for you to be that. However, I know that you have another skill, another talent, another gift hidden somewhere that needs to be tapped. So what am I going to do? I'm going to create an atmosphere to nurture that. So that while my child is pursuing what this child of mine feels they should be pursuing, there's another plan somewhere that is it. So you need to understand your child, their strengths, their inner traits, and their drive, so that you can create an effective vision. I think I've talked enough about goals so that we don't sleep here on goals. So let me go to the next thing. So the first thing you want to do for this 2025 is to create your goals. If you are just joining me, thank you so much. What you want to do is to go to the beginning of this video. I think I'm talking too fast. I talk really very fast. Okay. maybe on one of my personal growth this year is to bring it down and talk more calmly. How about that? If that sounds good. If I talk too fast, please leave it in the comment section. Tell me I talk too fast and I'll bring it down. Okay, so this class is brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. The Visionary Parents Academy is an academy where parents are empowered. You are empowered with the knowledge and skills to raise the child you have. Sometimes it is not easy. We know that. You need skills to be able to understand your child. You need that. Even these goals we are talking about, setting and all of that, you need skills to be able to do it. So one of the things we do in the Visionary Parents Academy is to empower you with the skills you need. And luckily, we are still open for registration for 2025. So what you want to do is to join us. It promises to be worth your investment, because for what you are going to be getting from the Visionary Parents Academy, I tell you that it is a steal. We charge for the entire year, it is 60,000 naira. But what you can do, you can still join us at the discounted price fee of 48,000 naira. If you register after this class, you just say, okay, I got this from the class, from the How to Win in Parenting 2025 class. Send that to me as a WhatsApp or leave it here. Ask for details. You are going to get this count of 48,000 naira. When you join this class, I tell you, are going to have a lot of amazing things. We have master classes. We will literally hold you. You are going to begin by creating your parenting vision. You are going to create your parenting plan. You are going to have constant templates. And when we have our master classes, you are either going to get them as free, or you are going to get them at a very discounted fee. Then we also have challenges we do every single month. Now for this month, our first challenge is going to be becoming winning in parenting in 2025, and we are going to leave the challenge open for everyone. We are leaving the challenge open for you. So if you want to win in 2025, you want to jump on the challenge. I don't know where we are going to share it yet. Maybe Facebook, maybe YouTube, maybe WhatsApp. So you just follow us, and I'll give more details. Give details on when we are going to start a challenge. We're going to start a challenge we are starting the Visionary Parents Academy for 2025 on the 11th officially. So we are starting the challenge on the 11th officially. So you want to join in that. It's going to be free. So you are going to join the challenge. So the Visionary Parents Academy is a place that you want to be. So let's go on. Okay, so I've talked about goals already. I'm sure you have learned a lot about how to set your goals, because you need to set goals that meet your parenting needs. You don't have to set random goals, and you need to set goals that answer your parenting needs, that answer your parenting questions, that bring solutions to your parenting struggles, not random needs, not random goals. And before you set your goals, you need to understand your child. Remember, your goals have to be smart, right? You need to understand your child, the child you have. When you say the arrow in goals means smart means your goal must be realistic. You need to understand your child. If, for example, you say, okay, I want to connect more with my child this 2025, your connection will not be realistic if you do not understand how your child wants to be connected with. It is not a matter of, you want to spend time playing with your children and all of that. You will know how your child needs to feel loved. What makes your child feel your connection? One of the things I always teach parents is that, I call them bad guys. Those adults that take advantage of children and all of that, and younger children or even teenagers, maybe less than 18, those adults, much older adults that take advantage of them. What do you think? Some parents will tell me, I don't understand everything. I don't yell. I don't smack. I do this. I do that. One of the things that happens is that these children, if there is a vacuum somewhere, it is easy for that bad guy to come in and pretend to fill the vacuum. I remember there was a post that went viral one time on Facebook. I shared it in my book, the Understanding Your Child. You need to get that book. I don't have a copy here. You need to get the book Understanding Your Child. It's a must-have for parents. Every parent, you need that book. If you haven't read on Understanding Your Child, then I don't know. It's just 3,000 naira hard copy. The e-copy is 2,500 naira. If you are still here with me, please drop a like. Give me your favorite emoji. I'm not seeing anybody respond. Or is it the way the setting of my phone? Maybe the setting of the video. I'm not seeing anybody, any question. I'm not seeing any response. Please drop your questions. I will take your questions after if I don't take your questions now, I'll take them after the class. I'll leave my number there, my WhatsApp number. If you want me to do a voice note to answer your questions, good and fine. I'll do a voice note to answer your questions. If you want me to do a call to answer your questions, you just tell me. I'll tell you when it's okay for you to call, and you answer my question, and I'll answer your question. So the book is Understanding Your Child, and I actually shared the story there. Remember the story of a girl who had to take her life. I don't know if that's okay to use on YouTube. Why? Her parents were doing their best. They were doing everything they could to make her happy. So they had an uncle. She had an uncle who came around, and the uncle spent a lot of time with her. At the end of the day, the uncle started sleeping with her, and when the uncle left, traveled abroad to further his education, she felt so lonely. She felt there was something missing, and that was how she ended it all. That's the story I shared in the book Understanding Your Child. It simply means that the parents did everything they could do, but yet they were not meeting her needs. They were not meeting her love needs. They were not speaking her love language. So when somebody came from nowhere or from somewhere to pretend to be filling in that vacuum, it was easy for her to think, oh, it was easy for her to now see her parents as lagging in that area, and for her to see the other person was the hero of the day. Please close that door. For her to see the other person, close the door, put something behind it. For her to see that the uncle was the hero of the day. So for you to set your goals, you must understand your child. You must, if you want to set goals for your child, for connection with your child, if you want to set goals to make your child, maybe you must understand how your child needs to be connected with. A lot of things you can actually do. We are going to talk about this in the Visionary Parents Academy. A lot of things you can actually do to build connection, influence. If that is your goal for 2025, you want to build connection, influence. We are going to talk about all of this in the Visionary Parents Academy. And yes. So yes, we've talked about goals. I hope you've learned about goals enough. Now, the next thing we want to do is, you want to do as a parent is, write it down, is create your structure. Create your structure. I would like someone to kind of share a few things they've learned so far in the comment section. A few things you've learned so far in the comment section, I would like you to share. Share in the comment section. I appreciate that. The next thing you want to do is to create a structure. A family, your family thrives on structure. Your children will thrive on structure. You can't afford to be random. Nah. You can't afford to be random. You can't afford to be spontaneous. Nah. Even when you as a parent, as an adult, if you want to be productive, you know when they say children, many parents send their children to the boarding school. They say, oh, they come back, they are more disciplined. You think the military, they have discipline. Structure. Structure simply means there is time, there is place, there is when, there is how, there is why, there is who for every single thing. Structure builds trust. You cannot afford to be random. Like I said a while ago, you need to have your vision. I want to raise self-disciplined children. I want to raise, what does it mean to have self-disciplined children? Children who will grow up into adults who are self-disciplined. I want to raise children who, if I have a child who decides to become a lecturer, will not demand for a feminine favor. I want to have a child who will see, a male child who will see a female scantily dressed and look away. Self-discipline in adulthood. So when you have that, then you want to create a structure. That is it. So your goal year in, year out is self-discipline. Then you want to sit and ask yourself again, how do I now raise my child to be self-disciplined? What do I need? This is where the knowledge come in. This is where the Visionary Parent Academy will skill you up. Whatever your goals are, we are going to skill you up. You want to raise a child who can easily say no, we are going to skill you up. You want to raise a child who has self-confidence, we will skill you up. You want to raise a child who is self-disciplined, the Visionary Parent Academy will skill you up. for you to be able to do that. So now you want to create a structure. You don't create a random structure. I tell parents that no matter what you are doing, if you are creating a structure, there has to be a why. It is super important. That why is what your child will run with. That why it is what, because your structure is actually to build value in your children. Your structure is not just something random you are doing. Oh, someone says, when parents ask me questions, for example, one of the first things I ask them is why. Because I need to know why. I can't just be advising you randomly. Why? Let me give a practical example. A couple of I think in the last edition, not general edition of the Boss of Me magazine. If you don't know about the Boss of Me magazine, the Boss of Me magazine is a magazine that actually is designed to partner with you as a parent. It's to raise children to be self-leaders, to be self-owners, to take responsibility for themselves. That is what it's all about, the Boss of Me magazine. And it's just 1,000 naira, an e-magazine. If we have partners, if we have a collaboration, we can make it hard copies. But for now, it's an e-magazine. And I tell you, if you don't have this, the Boss of Me magazine for your child, for your preteens and things, then we are sitting on a long thing. You know, it is an empowering magazine. No cap, like they say. No cap is an empowering magazine. So we have a column there that answers teenagers' questions, quick questions teenagers ask. Sometimes I teach children in church, preteens, and I meet teenagers also. I taught teenagers at the time. Back in Lagos, I taught teenagers. In church, I teach teenagers. And so I always meet teenagers every now and then. And teenagers, when they ask questions, I just note it down, questions that are bothering them. So a couple of the other months, and parents also ask questions about their teenagers. So we also use it. We just feature it so that these children are reading it. They want to understand why their parents say no to certain things or their parents say yes to certain things. Okay, so this particular mom said, oh, she was a visionary parent mom last year, and hopefully she's going to be a visionary parent this year again. Our teenager said, I think 14 years old, always wants to make up and all of that. And teenager was like, Mommy doesn't let me make up. Why does my mom not let me make up? And that is it. It's not about, oh, don't do it. It has to be realistic. It has to make sense to the child. Like I said, it's not by threatening the child. If I see you with makeup, I'm going to do X, Y, Z to you. It doesn't make sense. Shebi, you say, if I see you with makeup, I will make up, you will not see me now. Right? So that is not it. It has to be, you do not make up because of X, Y, Z. So like I answered, I said, one of the reasons your parents may not want you to apply makeup is the simple truth. When you make up as a girl child, you look older. I don't know if you have ever noticed it. If you think it's not true, drop it in the comments and tell me why you think it's not true. Look at a girl child, especially a girl child that's already grown, a preteen. They're already growing, they're already having their features, becoming curvy, and especially the ones that actually are on a big robust side, or the ones that are a big. When they apply makeup, they look like adults. They don't look their age. You will tell someone, this child is 15, and they will not believe. You will tell someone, this child is 14, you will not believe. Me, I've had to doubt teenagers several times, like 14, even 13. Because when they wear makeup, it just elevates them in such a, not elevate them age-wise. That's one thing. So when you wear makeup, you look older than your age. When you look older than your age, people will start flirting around you, admiring you, making passes at you. It is what it is. Is that what you want? And that is a major distraction for you now. You have a long time to make up. When you become 18 or become 17, or when you get into the university, you can make up for all you want. That way, you're already an adult. You can handle situations. When they come to you, you actually already understand where your life is taking you to and where you want your life to take you to. You're already walking on that path. So it becomes easy for you to walk on the path. It becomes easy for you to understand boundaries, and you are better equipped to even defend yourself. But for now, at 13, at 14, at 15, you may not be very much able to defend yourself. And makeup is just like, makes you look older. That is it. So you need to understand. They need to understand it. Like right now, you have a lot of things you want to do. So makeup doesn't fit into it. It doesn't even help you achieve your goals. So you need to, so when you are creating your structure, there has to be a why. That why is your child's motivation. If you don't have a why, your structure may just be, something you put in place to bully because you are the parents, because you are the boss, because you can do anything and get away with it, because I'm still a child, because I'm under you, because you can see me. Your structure has to have a why. So every structure you want to set, if you say, okay, my children, no TV today, no TV on weekdays. Why is there no TV on weekdays? There has to be a why. If you say, okay, no snacks after XYZ, why is there no snack after XYZ? There has to be a why. If you say, okay, we don't dress in certain ways, why? If you say these are the chores you are going to do, why? In creating your structure, there has to be a why. And so what do we mean by creating a structure? Your structure is simply your system. The way, when we say a structure, like a building is a structure, it is there, it is sacrosanct, something that is there, something that is not moved. It is there, it is always there, that is your structure. So this is why I tell to parents that before you create your structure, you must sit down and make sure that you can be consistent. If you cannot be consistent, then do not start it. Don't start what you cannot finish. So your structure, you don't have to be anything you are doing. Now, as a parent, for example, whether you have a structure or you don't have a structure, whether you are intentional about your structure or not, you have a structure. You have one already. So it's either it is porous or it is porous. That is it. I'm trying to bring out something here. I hope I can bring it out and not. Okay. I'll bring it out in a short while. So that is it. For you to set any structure, rules, regulations, ways you want your children to behave, you can have a structure around communication. How do you communicate? One of the things I said last year for my children was that when you want to communicate, because I want to raise children who are very willed, self-willed, strong-willed. I want them to be resilient. I want them to be go-getters. So when I was designing our communication rules, one of the things I told them was that we practiced last year, we are going to repeat this year even more emphatically, was that when someone calls you to say, help me with something, maybe I call my child, say, I'm looking for my glasses, and the next thing they say is, I don't know where it is. We don't want that. I want a situation where I say, I'm looking for my glasses, and the next thing you are going to ask me, like, okay, you are going to ask questions that show that you are ready to help look for it. You are not just going to go so relaxed and be nonchalant. So every single time, I saw myself several times. When it comes to structure, you are subject to it too. Rules and regulations in your family, you are subject to it as a parent. But I found myself last year very many times wanting to say, I don't know. And then immediately, that is why I always tell them in the Visionary Parent Academy, it's never an emergency. No matter what, it's never an emergency. Even to answer your child's question, it's never an emergency. So several times I saw myself wanting to say, I don't know. Then because I was operating on that is not an emergency, then I will now pause and say, okay, I'll ask the questions. Where did you last see it? Where did you use it? Where did you put it? And all of that. Have you checked here and there and all of that? You get my point. So your structure, you must be able to be consistent. If you are not consistent, if you are not going to be consistent, don't try it. Consistency is how your child learns. Consistency is how your child trusts you. Let me give you a practical example. When my kids were much younger, we had a rule that we still have today, that if, say, you go out and someone gives you something, maybe someone gives you biscuit or something, or someone visits and gives you biscuit or something, you are not eating it. You are going to keep it and show it to mommy and daddy. Now, why are you showing it to mommy and daddy? Because definitely you are not hungry, right? You are not hungry. So in order to make that realistic, each time we're going out, I always make sure my kids ate. If I was going from here to there, we'll take food, we'll take water. Even when I was going to visit my relatives that will know that when we get there, they will still give us food and water. I'll take food, I'll take water, because I don't want a situation when they will go there, they'll start being hungry and waiting for people to give them. No, I didn't want that. So the idea was, if somebody gives you food or anything, maybe snacks, you definitely have to bring it back home. You show it to mommy, you show it to daddy before you take it. It's not like you can't show it to mommy and daddy. You can't take it without showing it to mommy and daddy. No. But the idea was for me to just teach them self-discipline, to learn to wait. They have the snacks with them. They have it with them. They have it with them. But I wanted them to be able to resist the urge of taking it at that moment, that exact moment. So it was part of our system. And that was how we operated. That is how we have operated since my kids were little. My oldest child is 13. We have operated on that particular system till now. So when they go out, you see somebody give them something and they come to say, Mom, can I take it? Should I eat it? People there look at me like, now wow. So this boy, 13-year-old, cannot take something without asking you. Nah. That is what it means to have a structure. It becomes their second nature. Even when you are not there. I can almost tell you that even when I'm not there, my kids are giving something. They bring it to show me at home, to show their dad before they will take it. That is the structure I put in place. And that structure was towards our goal of self-discipline. And that goal was towards our vision. Like I said, vision at the end of the day, there should be self-discipline. Like I said, I have a child who is a lecturer, will not demand a feminine favor. I have a child who will not say, oh, these girls are scantily dressed, I am enticed. Self-discipline. Do you get my picture? It was that self-discipline that actually trickled down, goals, and to structure. So whatever structure you are setting, make sure you are consistent. You are able to be consistent. That is what makes it a structure. Like I said, a building is there, right? It's not going anywhere. That is a structure. You built a house. You don't move it anywhere. That is a structure. Come rain, come sun is a structure. Now, for your structure to be consistent, it has to be realistic. You don't set random structures. It has to be realistic. It has to be doable. You don't have to set structure on impulse. Ebuka, that thing is disturbing me. You don't set structure on impulse. Nah. It is why many times parents get it wrong. You are angry. You respond to your child in anger. Tomorrow your child does the same thing. You are not angry this time around. You say a different thing. You are not consistent. That is on a structure. If you tell your child, if you are doing something, if you have a rule, you are doing this, whether you are angry, you are happy, it has to be the same rule at every given time. It has to be a yes, it has to be a no. It has to be the same all of the time. It is not where, oh, I'm super happy because I'm super happy today, I can let you watch television till 10 o'clock. Because I'm super sad today, 7 o'clock, I want everybody to leave my face. I don't want to see you. Nah, that is not the structure. You are confusing your child. You are not building trust. So you just have to sit down to create a structure. You need to sit down and ask yourself, okay, what is my goal? What is my vision? What is my goal? What are the everyday behaviors? Everyday behaviors that will actually, Ebuka, that thing is disturbing me. Please enter one of the rooms. If you don't want to go to Noah's room, go to Grandma's room. Close the door. Thank you. You want to say, what are the, close that door very well, please. You want, thank you. You want to say, what are the everyday behaviors that will help, that will like everyday practice the children need to carry out. that will help them internalize this thing I want them to learn. You will sit and ask yourself, when you have noted that, then what are you going to do? You are going to write it in form of a behavior. You write it in form of a behavior. When you finish writing that, then you make sure that even no matter what your emotions are saying, or your emotion is saying, that is a particular thing you want to carry out, no matter the system. Let me give you a practical example. When my kids were much younger, I didn't allow them watch certain channels. Example was Nickelodeon. So one time, a family friend came to visit with the children, and the children, they went upstairs and they put on Nickelodeon. And my son told them, no, we don't watch Nickelodeon in this family. And the child was trying to intimidate my son. My son came to tell me. And I told him, no, in this family, we don't watch Nickelodeon. That is it. I will not say because I have visitors. Was it Nickelodeon? I don't remember. One channel they used to show Henry Danger. And one of the reasons I said that was because I saw Henry Danger was kissing a girl in the channel. It was supposed to be a children's channel, but he was kissing a girl. And my kids were not ready for that kind of a conversation. So that was it. And this particular boy was older than my child, was probably ready for the conversation. But it's my house. It's my rule. It's my structure. So I wasn't going to lower my standard because we had visitors. Hell no. So I told him, I came up and told him, no, he has told you. I told him everything he tells you is what you follow. Everything he says you should do is what you do. Then I showed him my family constitution. We have my family constitution. It is one of the things you are going to be getting when you register for the Visionary Parents Academy. You are going to be getting a copy of my family constitution for you to craft, to create your own family constitution at the end of the day. Yes. Sorry about that. Bimbo Ademoye will say sorry about that. So let me use our language to say sorry about that. So we have my family constitution. It's an ebook. Oh, I had to print mine. You can see it. My family constitution is an ebook that you get when you register for the Visionary Parents Academy. You are going to create your family constitution. It has it begins with, you have your vision. You create your, is it vision? We also have another one, my vision guide, how to create your vision. We have a book we are going to give you on how to create your vision. Excuse me, please. Sorry, please. So we have a book also on how to create your vision. You are going to have that book when you register. So this my family constitution has everything you need to know. You can create your vision here, your values, your family values. What should be your family values? You are going to have your rules and regulations for your house. You are going to have your rights and responsibilities of everyone, privileges. You are going to have behaviors and consequences of over how many now? Over 50 behaviors and consequences. I'm saying 52 here. About 60 something. About 60 behaviors and consequences you are going to have when you register for the family, my family, the Visionary Parents Academy. Because one thing you are trying to do is, your child misbehaves, right? Why do you call it misbehavior? They are doing something that you know will sabotage their future. Because you are not raising your child for today. Definitely. You're raising your child for the future, right? So when you say no to your child, it simply means giving your child a yes will sabotage the future. Because that is the big picture. So a no today is small. Because for example, if you have a child who takes what does not belong to him, your fear is, let this child not go and grow with this kind of behavior in the future and then get to jail and then be known, not be trusted, and then be known for this thing and people will not trust him. That is your fear. So what you are going to do is, the family constitution provides you solutions that will empower your child so that they are going to not only going to stop the behavior, they are going to learn the positive, the opposite of it. So in register for the Visionary Parents Academy, you are going to get my family constitution. So these are some of the things I want to share. I have a lot to still share. I know that as a parent, if you take action on these two I have shared with you, setting your goals, your realistic goals, goals that meet your needs as a parent, goals that meet the needs of your children, and you create a structure, you do not have any other issue. You will not have any other issue. Like I said, your structure must be very consistent. Your structure mustn't be random. You don't create random structures. You don't create structures on impulse. Your structures are your rules, your regulations, your way of life, your system, the way, your values as a family, the way you constantly reinforce your values, the behaviors that will help them internalize your values, that will help them make your values their second nature. Every single thing you do every time, they are your structure, and you want to make sure that they are not random. You don't create them randomly. They don't come randomly. No, they are you sit down and you think of them thoroughly. You make sure they're exactly, they lead to your goals. They're a reflection of your goals, and they lead to your vision. That is what you want to do as a family. That is what to do in creating your parenting structure. Your structure must not be random. I will let you know again. Your structure must not be random. You don't tell your child no because you are feeling sleepy. You don't say no because you are angry. You don't say yes because you are super happy. You don't say no because you want to upset your spouse. You don't say no because you want to get back at your child. You don't say no because of any other thing. You say no because saying yes is sabotaging. Saying yes is against your goals. Saying yes is against your structure. That is it. Your child tells you, "Mommy, can I play with your phone?" Or your child tells you, "Mommy, buy me a phone." You say no. Why? Why do you say no? Why can't your child have a phone? Like I said, there must be a why. There must be a why. That why is what you're selling to your child. That why is what your structure is founded on. You tell your child by 8 o'clock to submit your phones. Don't use your phone. Why? Because if you don't have a why, you are not even convinced in your why, guess what will happen? Tomorrow when they say, "Can I use your phone?" you will say yes. Next tomorrow. So, let me tell you something about not having structure. It leads to friction, clash. Your child will not take you seriously. You will always clash. Because yesterday you said a yes. Or you may even say a yes to one child. And when maybe you're in a happy mood, you have 3 children, for example, like I do. And when you're in a happy mood, child A says, "Oh, Mom, can I play with your phone?" You say, "Oh, come on, go and play with your phone." Your child goes and does that. Then, or you say, "Mommy, can I take the snack?" "Oh, come on, go and take the snack." Child A goes and does that. By the time child B realizes it and comes, you are angry. You are not in the mood, right? And child B says, "Mommy, can I play with your phone?" "No." "Can I take the snack?" "No." What do you think? Mommy loves me less. Daddy loves me less. If it is XYZ now, Mommy will give. This is XYZ, Mommy will say yes. But because it's me, Mommy says no. That is it. So when you don't have a structure, you are likely going to do things randomly. And doing things randomly in parenting causes a lot of havoc, a lot of dangers that you do not realize it. You are wondering, "I have loved you all the same way. I have done my best for you. You do this, you do that." Nah. There are children that are very sensitive, that read meaning to everything. So they are going to keep saying, "Okay, the other day Mommy said no." And maybe it is when you are angry that they come and ask you. So that is why no, you don't give a random yes, you don't give a random no. You must have a reason for your yes and a reason for your no. So it's not no, yes. You have a reason. And that reason must be empowering. Must be empowering. So you can stick to it. If it's empowering, you can be consistent. If it's not empowering, you are not going to be consistent. Parenting is hard work. Oh, that is what they say. And it's true. I just shared with you 2 things. Set your goals. If you are just joining me, then you need to go back to the beginning of this video to watch it. Set your goals and create a family structure. set your goals, and create a family structure. Now, the last thing I want to tell you is be confident in your parenting. Be super confident in your parenting. Once you have your goals, when you have your goals, you go and you learn. You don't know it all. You are going to learn. It is why the Visionary Parents Academy is there for you, to empower you, to skill you up, to teach you everything you need to learn. And guess what? We also have the self-led mentorship class coming up soon, where your preteens and teens can come and get empowered. We read books every month. We have a lot of activities they are going to do, and it is going to be just 5,000 naira monthly. For the Visionary Parents Academy, they're going to pay less. If you're in the Visionary Parents Academy, we are going to pay way less. It may be as low as 2.5 or 3.5 that you are going to pay. If you have paid for last year already, you were in luck, you paid 3.5. And I told you, that payment is only for January. We are going to announce the date we are going to start. That payment is only for January. You know, from February, the fee monthly is 5,000 naira, because what your child is going to learn from that academy. Ooh, remember, parenting is about you, but you are not raising yourself, you are raising your child. Like I always say, you need to increase the voices in the heads of your child. You need to increase the voices. You are teaching one thing, another person is teaching the same thing. It is easy for your child to learn. It was why I said invite people to come and join this live stream. Invite people around you, because once everybody learns something, everybody around you, we are likely going to have the same values. When we have the same values, your child turns there the same way, your child turns there the same way, your child turns there the same way. It's easy for your child to internalize the things you are teaching, for your child to uphold your values. Why? Because everyone around them, it is what they see. When they look around, it is what they see. So the self-led mentorship class is designed to actually, and your child is going to be getting a free copy of the Boss of Me magazine every month. As soon as any month they register, they get a free copy of the Boss of Me magazine. That is it. So everything within the Visionary Parents Academy is almost free, if you ask me. Because what you will get when you join the Visionary Parents Academy, even the e-books, the quick reads you are going to read and analyze alone, those quick reads, they are worth more than 100,000 naira. You know, you see them. Go to our seller account. Go to my WhatsApp store. They are more than 100,000 naira, but we are giving you all those ebooks because I am a lead coach, and I genuinely want you to get results. I was telling someone during the Christmas holiday, the person was saying that she was looking at my my plan for 2024, and she said, oh my God, your life is not fun, it's so boring. And I said, well, how do you define fun? And she was like, okay, you can be spontaneous, you can go clubbing, you can drink and all of that. I said, funny enough, that's what you call fun. To me, that is what I call time wasting. I have time, I unwind, good and fine. I unwind, I have fun in my own way. I don't club, I call it, I see it as time wasting. I don't know. What gives me, what I consider fun is, like this I'm doing is so much fun to me. Addressing parents, sitting down and talking to parents. You know why? It gives me fulfillment to see a child do well. It gives me fulfillment to see a child behave well, to see a parent happy. When I moved to this location, one of the things I noticed that children here, I always say children here are bold, but they are negatively bold. They are bold in the wrong way. So I started teaching children in church, and now I see some of the children, they are coming around. When I see them, I am super happy. For example, back then in church, you tell children to come and sing, everybody relax. You have a program, you want children to volunteer. Nobody is volunteering. They just relax. They don't want to do anything. You know, it was an issue for me. I'm like, you have beautiful voice. You are not singing. You are very oratory. You are not using it. What is the matter? It became a goal for me to actually, at least, if I can get 3-4 of them out of their shells and make them come out and use the talent and give God has deposited in them. And when I started seeing that happen, you know, you don't understand. My joy actually knows no bound. When we sit down, we interact, they ask me some questions that seem dumb, we laugh. Oh my God, that is fun. That is fun for me. That is super fun. When we play games and everyone is laughing, that is super fun for me. It doesn't mean I don't make out time to just relax, to a spa date and all of that. It doesn't mean I don't do that. But my definition of fun is impacting. That is what I genuinely want to do with the Visionary Parent Academy. That is why our class, we charge 48,000 naira, and what we give is way more than that. What we give is way more than that. Is way more than that for the entire year. Is way more than that. So I want to encourage you to come and join us in the Visionary Parent Academy. You are going to be highly empowered. You are going to be highly skilled at the end of the day to parent with confidence, to craft your goals, to craft your vision, to work towards your goals, to create a structure, to be very, very consistent, to create a system, to create an atmosphere that will nourish and nurture the child you want to see. You are going to begin to raise your children with the end in mind. When you join the Visionary Parent Academy, you see my back now. This is our wall, our vision wall. If I'll show you my room, we have another wall, our faith wall. We have a lot. If I was downstairs, I would have shown you our emotional intelligence tool. We also have our monthly challenge. I have a box there for our monthly challenge. These are some of the things we do in the Visionary Parent Academy that you are going to benefit from. If you are not joining us, then you are really going to miss a great deal. And guess what? Our 2025 is super packed. It's not like our previous years. Our previous years have been very empowering, but our 2025, it is multiple empowering. So you really want to drop a question on how you can join, and we'll gladly respond to you as soon as possible, and you will join us. So don't also forget that we have the self-led mentorship class for your preteens and teens from 8 years to 17 years, from children in upper primary school to secondary school, is a program that is crafted to partner with you, to empower them to be self-leaders, to take ownership of their lives. Because I realize that one of the things you can actually do for your child is to have them take ownership of their lives. We are talking about structure, talking about goals, talking about everything. Your child has a role to play in it, and the role your child has to play in it is ownership of their life. Really. One of the stories I always tell children back then, in church is the story of David in the Bible. When children take ownership of their life, they are more confident, they stand out, they are seen, they are heard. When they take ownership of their life, you will not have to nag, you will not have to yell. They don't have to wait for your validation, wait for anybody or anything to tell them what to do or how to do things. They will just be well behaved. They know that their life belongs to them. They know that every single thing they do is for their own good. They know that everything is working together for their own good. I met a teenager once who told me that, I was asking her, this teenager was already in the university, 100 level, and I think she was 19 or thereabout, 18, 19. I think 19 or so. I was asking her, okay, what is your vision at the end of the day? And she said something to me that I can never forget. And she said to me, I didn't promise my parents I'll come out with a first class. I didn't promise them I'll even come out with a second class upper. All I promised them is I will not join bad gang, and I will not get pregnant in school, a girl. And I looked at her and I said, are you kidding me? You didn't promise your parents. Are you going to school for your parents? I don't know how Igbo say simio. I wanted to use Igbo to say nokwanu manya, something like that. Simio. Are you going to school for your parents? I don't get it. I had to give an example. A couple of years ago, I read a post about a girl who made, she was the best graduate student in the University of Lagos, something like that. I don't remember the course she studied. She said when she was 13, her mom made her read at least 3 hours every single day, 3 to 2 hours every single day when she was 13. And so she became the best graduate student in the University of Lagos with a first class and a perfect GPA. I said to her, what do you think? Her parents made her read, right? But she was reading for herself. She wasn't reading for her parents. Even in the interview, she did not mention her parents' name. She did not mention her parents' name in the interview. She only mentioned what her parents did. So nobody that doesn't know her parents personally may even know her parents. Who was called to receive the award? The girl. As a best graduating student, do you know how many offers she will have? How many opportunities she will have? I know there are no jobs in Nigeria, but the phrase there are no jobs in Nigeria is not for everybody. No. There are still some people, there are no jobs in Nigeria. There are still some people that are still begged with jobs. That job offers are still pursuing up and down. It's not for anybody. So I told her, do you know that that girl, she may never, not even may never, she will not struggle in the labor market. Of course, except there are village people against her. She will not struggle in the labor market. That same class that girl was, there will be some girls or some boys, some people in that same class who will come out with almost no grades, no good grades. And what will happen? Those ones will begin to look for job from here to here. Their slippers will file, their shoes will file, their suits will become coat souble, coats, suits, and blazers, according to Agoda in those days. Their suits will become coat souble. They are looking for their shoes, their jobs. They will enter sun, they will enter rain. Some of the girls will say, Nkukuma, let me go and marry this man so that this man can feed me since I don't have a job. Some of them will even go and meet some pastors who will tell them, come and buy the golden spoon. Somebody took the golden spoon away from you. Come and take the golden spoon. That's why you've not gotten a job. Some of them will go and meet pastors that will tell them, oh, your mommy who took care of you when you were small, till now, is responsible for why you haven't gotten a job. You know? When they have someone in that same class who sits and has opportunities to decide what she wants, that has an opportunity to choose. Why? Because that person probably applied herself, discovered herself and applied herself, took ownership of herself. While the others, they didn't know. I told my parents I don't want to make a first class, so I don't want to make a second class, so I want to, what is it called? I will not get pregnant and join a band gang. I also remember a young boy that time that I know very well, that the parents registered for JAM and all of that. Each time the parents left for work, instead of him to go and study for his JAM, he would go to the neighbor's house to play video game from morning till night. The boy did not realize that it was his life he was throwing away. Ask me what the boy is doing today, because I still know him. I've still met him. What the boy is doing today, going about the streets, up to no good, because he did not realize that it is my life. Every single thing I do, it is for me. It is for my own good. It is for my life. I'm not doing it for anybody. I say to my children, every single thing you do, it's for your own good. There is nothing you are doing for someone. You may think, oh, mom says, help me wash my clothes, or give me water to drink. Or mom says, okay, it's your chore to cook. Go and start cooking. You think you are doing me a favor? Hell no. You are not doing me a favor. I can do my laundry myself. I can do my dishwashing myself. I can cook myself. I can decide to leave you, not to do anything. But you see, because I'm a Christian and the Bible has instructed me to train you in the way you should go, so I'm living my life as a worship unto God by actually training you in the way you should go, because I know that these skills are skills that will help you in the future. They are teaching you skills that will help you thrive. The skills that will help you thrive, they are practical, resilience. We say to children, learn from your mistakes. Then you don't let them make mistakes. How will they learn from their mistakes? Skills that will help them thrive. The skills are practical. So what I am doing, I am teaching you practical skills that will help you thrive. It is for your own good, and it is not for my own good. It is not for me. What do I gain from it? I'm going to be proud. Oh, my child is doing well. I'm going to be super proud. When they mention your name, I'm going to smile from chin to chin. That is my gain from it. But it is you that is setting your path, that is living your life, that is planning for your tomorrow. Now, this is what we intend to achieve with the self-led mentorship class. It is also what we intend, what the goal behind the leadership, the Boss of Me magazine. the monthly Boss of Me magazine. It is why if your child is in self-led mentorship class, your child is getting a copy of the of the Boss of Me magazine every month. So what you want to do is to register your child. Remember, as a parent in the Visionary Parent Academy, you get a discount, a mouth-watering discount. So if your child is in the Visionary Parent Academy, you are going to get as much as 40 to 50% discount to register your child in the self-led mentorship class. We are going to share details later. And we also have other programs coming up soon. We have an ebook for it. An ebook. The ebook is Parenting on Your Knees. If you were part of the 30 days, you will know that it was worth it. Parenting on Your Knees. We have an ebook for the entire year, 366 prayers. So we'll begin that Parenting on Your Knees by February. Then you are going to get the ebook. It's just 5,000 naira only. 5,000 naira only. And again, as a member of the Visionary Parent Academy, it is free. You get the ebook, and then you can choose to join the community where we use the ebook, or you can choose not to join. But the ebook is 5,000 naira, and I will encourage you to join the community so that we can all use the ebook together. But as a Visionary Parent Academy, it is free. You join the community for free and use the ebook for free. So again, the Visionary Parent Academy brought you this live stream, and we encourage you to join us in the Visionary Parent Academy. Register. If you are not with us, you are missing. You are leaving values behind. It is 48,000 naira. That is about 4,000 naira monthly that you are going to pay. However, we don't break it. We pay at once. But if you say, okay, I want to commit, I don't have the money now, good and fine. We are starting on the 11th. You can make your commitments before on the 11th. Because once it's on the 11th, the fee goes to 60,000 naira, and at the end of the first quarter of the year, we close portals. We are not taking registration again until next year. So you just register with your 48,000 naira. You can secure your spot. You tell us when you intend to pay, and we'll give you our terms and conditions, and you join the academy. It is highly empowering. I guarantee you, you are going to learn, unlearn, and relearn. You are going to begin by mastering your emotions. You are going to begin by crafting your values, setting your goals, knowing exactly what you want in your parenting, where you are going with your parenting. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. I hope you have left your questions in the comment section. I'll come back to take all your questions. I guarantee you that. I'm not seeing I'm not seeing questions or answers or anything comments here right now. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the setting of the video. I'm not sure why, but I guarantee you that I will come as soon as the video is uploaded. I'll come and take your questions, and if you have observations, it's okay to also share your observations. If you want to reach me personally, it's okay. I'll leave my number, my WhatsApp number. You can reach me personally, and if you want to reach any of the admins in the Visionary Parent Academy, you can also reach any of the admins. Is okay. I assure you that if you join the Visionary Parent Academy and you take action, your 2025 is going to be transformational. Your parenting, you're going to parent with confidence, you're going to parent with calm, you're going to parent with knowledge, parent with skills. Your parenting is going to move from point A to point Z. I guarantee you. Thank you so much. My name is Enimia Orebo. I had fun doing this. I hope you have fun doing this too. I'll see you next week. Yes, I'll see you next week for another empowering masterclass. Bye-bye.